देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our Nectar of Instruction session.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी।
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
हरे
So I'll just go on the verse. We'll read the verse once again, second verse, and then we'll start with the explanation. Yes. Shobha Mataji, can you read it once? Is it possible?
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
अत्याहार प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमग्रह जनसंगश्च लौल्यं च सद्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति। हरे कृष्ण दंडवत
Thank you,
प्रणाम
Mataji.
माताजी।
Krishna Bhakti Prabhuji, please read it.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी।
Dandavat Prabhuji.
अत्याहारः प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रहः जनसंगश्च लौल्यञ्च षड्भिर्भक्ति विनश्यते। हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Chandra Rekha Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
अत्याहार प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रहः ज्ञानसङ्गाश्च लौल्यं च शुद्धिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति.
Yeah, it is Jana Sanghasya.
Jnanasangra. Correct. Sorry.
Please read the translation also, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, and being greedy for mundane achievements.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
So these are the 6 things. If we are hankering for these things, or we are performing these things, the 6 things, then Shadbir Bhakti Vinashyati. That means then your bhakti is destroyed. There is a drastic fall down. And your whatever bhakti, somewhat amount of bhakti you have done, it becomes contaminated. It becomes in vain. It is of no use, because along with bhakti, these are the 6 weeds going around, which is going to destroy your bhakti. So we have already started with the purport, and what has happened till now, in short, I will tell before we proceed ahead. So, Srila Prabhupada, he starts by telling us about the three different energies of Sri Krishna. Which are the three different energies of Sri Krishna? Internal potency, marginal potency, and external potency. What is internal potency? Who is internal potency? Srimati
Ladini Shakti.
Yeah, Ladini Shakti, Srimati Radharani. Who is the external potency? Maya Devi.
Yes, Maya Devi. Yeah.
And who is the Tatastha Shakti?
Jivas.
We all. All
Yeah.
the Jivas are the Tatastha Shakti or the marginal Shakti of Krishna. Now we can understand this marginal Shakti as a person who is walking, on the edge, on the cliff of a mountain. If this is the mountain like this and somebody is walking on the cliff, right? He's always, either he'll go right, he will tend to fall on this side or that side because there is no road. It's only a tip of the mountain. So either he will slide down little bit on the left side or he will slide down on the right side. So always, because we are the marginal energy, or even if we take a road, there is a road, a very thin narrow road. One side there is sand and one side there is grass. So you are driving a cycle. So what will happen? The cycle will sometimes enter into the sand road, sometimes it will go into the grass road. Now a person, if he feels the grass is very soft, the cycle is not moving on that, right? It will have a trouble to move the cycle on the grass. So he tends to move the cycle through the sand. And he's quite betterly, he can ride the cycle better on the sand. So he will move towards the sand. That is our tendency. Because we are the marginal energy, we find our way to, so what happens when we are in the sand part, that is, we are in the clutches of Mahamaya, and we feel that, oh, I am so blissful, I am feeling, right, this is my world, let me go on this path, and we leave the very soft green grass or very tender path of Srimati Radharani. So that is what happens. So once we enter into the material world, we have come into this material world, we get bound by the clutches of Mahamaya or Maya Devi. So we saw that there is a internal potency, marginal potency, and external potency. When a person takes shelter of the internal potency of Krishna, Prabhupada calls him as a Mahatma. Is it not? We have seen this. And if the person takes shelter of Maya Devi, then he is called as a Duratma. Because when he is in the shelter of Radharani, he is in the shelter of the internal potency of the Lord, he is always endeavoring to do some sort of activity which is going to please Krishna. But when he is under the clutches of Maya Devi, he tends to do the work for his own satisfaction, for satisfying him, for his own sense gratification. So Prabhupada says that one who is not a Mahatma, he is a Duratma, because he is not taking efforts to please Krishna. He's doing all the efforts to please himself, to satisfy his senses. And sometimes these senses are not particularly his own senses, but his senses and his somebody's senses. So that is, Prabhupada calls it as an extended sense gratification. Yes, do you remember all these things? Extended sense gratification, me and mine. I'm doing something for me so that I am happy. And I do some things for my relatives, my friends, my family, my something, my somebody, my company, my house, everything. So if you're doing something for the betterment of that, it is called as an extended sense gratification. But still, both of them are sense gratification only. Prabhupada talks about isms. So, so many things we try to, people will try to go and help the poor people, go and help the country, fight for the country, so this all comes under extended sense gratification because it is nowhere helping to progress in the spiritual life. So this jiva, when this jiva is controlled by Mahamaya, when he is controlled by Maya Devi, this Maya Devi gives him 3 types of suffering. What are the 3 types of suffering?
Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik.
We all know that. So Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik. And we are not going to go into details. This is just a revision now. And when these three types of sufferings are given to the human being, then at that time the human being faces various types of problems. And what is the biggest problem of this life? Or what is the biggest problem because we are facing because we are in the material world? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. And then we get so much entangled in this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi that it becomes difficult to take us out from there. It is difficult to again bring us back from the clutches of Maya and go under the shelter of Srimati Radharani. That it becomes very difficult. So when we are in this particular material world, bound by the ropes of Maya Devi, when she is giving us so many sufferings, what becomes the ultimate, what happens to this jiva he tries to become happy in that situation also. Just like Prabhupada always gives the example of a jail. So in a jail, there are so many types of criminals. Every criminal is given separate type of rooms. Somebody will be 3 sharing, 4 sharing. Some criminal is a very famous or very dangerous. He will be kept separately in a single room. Maybe a don is there, some underworld don is there. He will be given, because he has so much of power, that he will be given all the facilities in the jail itself. He will have his own TV, he will have his own bed, he will have his own toilet separately, he will have all the facilities, he will even have his own refrigerator. And he feels, oh, what is this? How does it matter? I'm getting all the pleasures of life here itself in the jail. So I'm happy in the jail. But he forgets that how much ever pleasures he is having, he is still in the jail. He is still under the custody of the government. He is still being punished. Right? That is the part which he is forgetting. Same thing is happening with us. Because we are in this material world, we think, okay, this material world this is what I have to live. Here only I will make my house. Here only I will do all the progress. Here only I will get married, have children. I will spend my entire life, and I will try to become more and more and more happy. And in this process, we forget that this is not actually our house. We are still in the jail. We are in the custody of Maya Devi. And to become happy in the given environment, what we do? We do all these 6 things. What are those? Atyahara, Prayasa, Prajalpa, Niyamagraha, Janasanga, and Laulya. These are the 6 big blunders which we do, because of which our only chance of going back to Godhead also becomes very faint. Yeah. So out of that, we have already seen what is Atyahara, and we have already started with Prayas also. What is Atyahara? Atyahara is of 2 types. Overeating, actually overeating. Literally Atyahara, Ati Ahara. Overeating. You see a bowl full of gulab jamuns and you are very, first you are very, you're feeling like you have not eaten from so many years. You have not seen a sweet from ages, and you will eat a few, 2 or 3 gulab jamuns, but then the taste is such that you want to eat more and more and more. Then even if your stomach is completely full, you tend to overeat. That is Atyahara. What is the second meaning of Atyahara? To collect more than required. Right? Prabhupada gives the example of a sack filled of grains. So if a sack filled of grains is kept openly in a marketplace or is on the road, and if the birds are coming, how much grains they will pick up? Just as much grains as they can fill their stomach. And once their stomach is full, they will fly off. But if the same sack of grain is found by a person, a human being, what he will do? First of all, he'll take whatever is required. Then he'll see nobody is watching me, and he'll lift the entire sack, and he'll go off and he will store it for future. That is what we are doing. Yeah, we are endeavoring so much, we are collecting so much, we are storing so much, thinking that someday it is going to help me. Someday this will be required. Someday I will make use of this thing. That is Atyahara. What is Prayas? Now this is related to, collecting of things. Maybe we can call this in the terms of quantity. Yeah. For example, suppose I have, okay, I am a lady, a lady who is a very nice, suppose I'm not a nice devotee, but if I'm a devotee, what is my intention? I have 2 sets of saris for temple. I have 2 sets of saris for, going outside somewhere. Okay, that is my requirement. Other than that, I don't require anything. But what I'm thinking, no, 2 saris are not sufficient. I need 4, I need 7, I need 10. Even with Prabhuji's, not this much is required. I need more. I need more. I need more. What is this? This atyahara. Same thing if I say prayas. The same example if I give for prayas, what happens is that, okay, I have a sari. I am, till today, I was affording a sari of 500 rupees. But I want to, my desire is to wear saris of 5,000 rupees. But right now I cannot afford it. So I will endeavor for that. I will work more. I will do what is that called? Even after my work hours are finished, I will still work for 2 hours more so that I can gain some extra money. I will work for bonus. I will work more and more and more so that I can collect some money and complete my desire, fulfill my desire. That what happens, that is called as prayas. That is called as prayas. So that it's similar to atyahar only, but in an extended form, still more. For the more greater future, I'm thinking, and I'm doing that prayas, and doing this prayas, there is no God consciousness. There is no God. Why I'm doing this? I can work for 4 hours, but I'm working for 8 hours. Why? My company says, okay, you can go back home at 6 o'clock. But I'm working till 7, 8, 10. Why? So that I can earn more money. Am I using this money for advancement in my spiritual life? Am I using this money for the satisfaction of Krishna? Am I using this money for, building a nice temple for Krishna or feeding Krishna some very nice, delicious items? No. I'm using that money for my sense gratification so that I want to have a better life. That is called as prayas. Now, against this prayas, this is still this which we have seen. Now, before reading for today, a few, about this prayas, I would like to, say a few words, few things about this prayas before we actually read from the text. So, this prayas, there is another word which is opposite to prayas, or this atyahar and prayas leads to parigraha. That means accumulation of things. Just as we said, the sack of grains. We are accumulating more than what is required. What is the opposite of that? That is aparigraha. When you accumulate, it is called as parigraha. When you don't want to accumulate at all, it is called as aparigraha. So what is the solution for this atyahar and this prayas? That you do aparigraha. Aparigraha means you have to be minimalistic. Minimum requirement. What is my minimum requirement? That is only what I'm going to have in my life. Right? So you can have, there are actually whatever stuff, if you just close your eyes. And I had this wonderful example when Prabhuji had given in one class about this Atyahar and Prayas, where he told, okay, you just all, I'll tell you the same exercise right now. So all of you can just close your eyes and think of all the items in your house. One item. Maybe it's a sofa set, if it's a dining table, it's a refrigerator. And you imagine that there is a very long rope, or there are many ropes available, infinite ropes available, and you are tying each and every element in your house, each and every object in your house with yourself. Something you are tying with your hand, something you are tying with your neck, something you are tying with your hair, with your legs, with your fingers, with your toes. Each item you are tying with the ropes given to yourself. So how many items do you have? These many items, right? Now, after attaching all these items to yourself, now if you try to move, walk ahead, take first step, take the second step, take the third step. How much distance can you travel? Can you at least go to the door, up to the door of your house? Is it possible? When all the things are attached, even the two bedroom, two-seater bed is also there. Yeah, single bed, double bed, everything is attached to you yourself. Is it possible? It will not be even possible to move an inch from the given position, because that will be such a load on yourself. Is it not? Now, if you think that this all load is attached to me, I want to remove one load. Remove one load because I want to move ahead. My intention is to reach to the door. And for moving ahead, I need to move out one things. What will you remove? Just you don't have to answer me this. You just consider it for yourself. What all things will you remove? Yeah, maybe I will remove my double bed सबसे first. It's a big wooden double bed. Okay, remove it. Then the sofa set I will not require. I have to move it. This is very heavy. I cannot move with that. So like this, if you go on removing things from your attachments, what will happen? You will find that, oh, these all things, they were there just as an extra item in my house. They were there just for the comfort. They were actually not required in my life. I don't need them as such to live. Right? So what are the different items which are required in our life? So we can categorize our items into 4 different categories. Okay. First is the very, very useful stuff. What are those useful stuff? Can somebody tell me? In our life, what are the useful stuff? In Hindi, we call it as roti, kapda, makan. Have you heard that? Yeah, roti, kapda, makan. What do you need? Food, clothing, and shelter. These 3 things are important. Other than this, nothing is important. Roti, kapda, makan. I will add few more things in that. Along with your food, along with your clothing, along with your home, staying home, you also require Krishna conscious activities to sustain. You also require Krishna conscious services. You also require Krishna conscious sadhana. You also require Krishna conscious shiksha. These are the things which are most essential in our life. All the other things are extra. Okay, these are, or I can say these are the useful things in my life. If you disagree with this, you can please comment immediately. No problem in that. Second thing, second type of items in our life. First is what I told is useful things, right? Second thing is what you can say is that beautifying stuff. Some flower pots are there, some TV is there, some things you require so that you can just go and relax. A cozy sofa set is there. Okay, these are beautifying things around us. Third is your emotional stuff. The stuff which are required, which will help you to, calm down your emotions sometimes. Some things which will evoke your certain memories in your life. Right? Some pictures are there, some old videos are there, some, a photograph of your first meeting to some of our brahmacharis or Maharaj, it is there. Something which will, you find it more precious, very precious. Those things are there. And some things are aspirational stuff. This is the important thing which we need to take it off from our life. What is this aspirational stuff? Aspirational stuff is something, that items in your life which are actually not required for sustenance. Not required for sustenance. They are required so that you can maintain some of your fantasy world. For example, my social status in the community. Right? If I wear a simple kurta, cotton kurta, and go out for a wedding, what will people say about me? So I need a Banarsi silk sari. I cannot go in a plain cotton kurta. So that is my status issue. Some things like that. Okay, I have a 2 BHK, but all my friends are staying in bungalows, row houses, duplex, 3 BHK, 4.5 BHK, and I'm still lying in this 2 BHK. So I'm endeavoring. I'm talking about prayas, okay? So we are endeavoring to get those things come into our life. And why do we do that? Mostly this prayas is done because of envy about others. That is the main point for our discussion, or doing all such discussion, is that when we want to give up the baggage, leave the baggage which you have to leave off, that you have collected because of envy with others. I was happy sleeping on a bed, on a mattress on the floor, but now the status issue comes and I need to have a two double bed, okay, queen size, king size double bed, and then I'll sleep on that. Status issue. Sometimes it may be some genuine, for old age people, aged people, genuine things are there. But mostly the things which are aspirational stuffs are those things which we collect, which we struggle to get only because of our prestige issues, only because of envy towards others, only because of jealousy towards others. And such stuff are the first things that has to go out of our life. It's not about house or only the physical things. We are talking about physical items in the house. We are talking about different relationships with the people we have. We are talking about the different emotional attachments we have. And we are also talking about different, you can say, some things which are not actually things or people, but our thinking, our process of implementing the different things. All these things can come into these four categories. I feel when we are talking about all these things, you may feel that is it really mattering, having any connection with this text? But yes, it is having a very big connection, because we are talking about prayas. How much do we endeavor? So to remove this endeavor, right, we saw what we are going to do, a parigraha. We have to take out the things from our life which we are not, which are not healthy for our spiritual upliftment. Is it not? So how are these things? How can we think about not having these things in our life? So first thing, I will talk about two different things. First is less stuff is equal to less stress. Do you agree with this? I can't see your faces, but I don't know whether you agree with this.
Mataji, that is true. But Mataji, can I say something?
Yes, Mataji.
See, although we are devotees, we fully understand. That is, I understand all this. But sometimes it becomes difficult when you have relations who are not devotees. When they come home, it's very difficult. They say, "How can you sit on the floor?" All these things, Mataji, very true. I do agree. But most of them are non-devotees, so it becomes a big problem.
That is the social pressure. That is what I'm talking about. Because we do see, ultimately, we are going to stay in this material world. That is for sure, right?
Yeah.
We cannot be mendicants and just go away. We are grihasthas. Is it not?
Yeah.
But can we reduce our requirements?
Yes, we can reduce. Yes.
We can reduce our requirements. That is the point I'm coming to.
At the basics, we can keep basics in the house.
So nowadays, having a sofa is a basic thing.
Yeah.
So you have a sofa in your house. Do you need a recliner?
Not necessary.
Not necessary.
Not necessary, but
still bringing the recliner.
But some family members need it.
It is a luxury item. It is not a requirement.
Some family members, they want it. So what to do? So we'll have to cooperate.
That is the point, Mataji. That is the point. This is called as me and mine.
Yes.
That is the same point we are coming back. No. Me. Okay, I don't need a recliner, but this and this relative, he requires it, so I have to have it. So me and mine, we are bound. See.
Yeah, see, Mataji. I may not need, but my husband will need. So what do we do?
Me and mine. What to do? No? I'm talking about the situation in our life. Everybody's because we are here in this material world, these things are there. And these things are creating the attachments. Is it not? Now, all of us are Krishna conscious people. We feel that we are Krishna conscious, or at least we are trying to become Krishna conscious people. So it is more difficult for us actually, to balance between this and this life. When we are walking on this edge of the mountain, because we know that we have to go towards this side, and all our relatives are on this side. Okay? It is very difficult for us, all of us, to bring everybody to this side, at least. Not at least to cut the bonds and come to this side. Is it not? Is it not very difficult? It's very difficult. It is very difficult. But at least by using these textbooks, by reading these books, at least we are understanding that this is what is wrong.
Yeah, that is true.
This is what is wrong. And somehow we can reduce our requirements. We can make ourselves more comfortable by reducing less stuff, less stress. So that is what I'm talking about now. Is it not? So it's not,
Yeah.
see, we cannot become brahmacharis. We cannot become, leave our house and responsibilities, leave everything. I don't want a bed, I don't want this, I don't want that. And we cannot just leave everything and go because we are grihasthas. That is true. But
Yeah.
can we reduce our requirements?
Yeah, that we can do.
That we can do. How? That is our point. How we can do that? Understanding that, okay, prayas is wrong. Right? Prabhupada is saying, if you do prayas, Shadbir Bhakti Vinashyati. Your bhakti will go in vain. Okay, I'll give you a very simple, nice example of prayas. Okay. Consider a scenario once again. You are early morning, 4 o'clock, 4:30 or 5. You are sitting in one place. Or very peaceful climate is there, environment is there, right? A small lamp is lit in your altar. You have your bead bag in your hand and you are very peacefully chanting. You are in your mood of Sattva Guna. Very peacefully chanting. Yeah, right. Now, this is not related to your husband, not your relatives, not your children, nobody. You are the only person. You are chanting, chanting, chanting. Okay. Somehow or the other, you just open your eyes, maybe your eyes are open already, and you just look here and there, and in the corner of your room, that particular room, you see a very old magazine which is lying. Old magazine, some old magazine. I'm just giving a scenario, it's a simple scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, or on the table, one magazine is lying over there. And somehow your thought comes, oh, this magazine had one page in which I was reading an article about something, such and such thing, which I couldn't read it complete that time because my bell rang and I had to leave the magazine and go and open the door. Just a simple thing. You just saw a magazine and some thought came into mind, and now your mind is dwelling on what?
On a magazine. Want to
What did
read
I
that?
see? कहाँ तक पढ़ा था? Okay, this was going on, this was going on. Oh, I read this till this point. Your hands are moving, your beads are moving, you are chanting Hare Krishna, but your mind is where? On that some mundane material novel or magazine. Is that magazine required? No, it is for your beautifying item, comfort. It is not a useful item. It is a beautifying item, right? That's categories, a general category. So this is how when something material comes into your life. So you are now actually you are in the association of spiritual energy of the Lord, and suddenly you shifted your gear and you went to the material energy and you completely, and after 15 minutes, oh my God, my 5 rounds are completed. I don't know how my 5 rounds got completed. When did I complete my 5 rounds? Because your fingers were just moving. Your mind was dwelling somewhere else. And then you do prayas for that. Even you don't stop over there. You do some prayas. Okay, you try to finish off the rounds quickly. Okay, only 3 rounds remaining. Fatafat, fatafat. Okay, I'll just take out 5 minutes and see the article, complete the article. Your mind dwells on that. So you do prayas for that. Getting that point? Or a bunch of newspaper is lying which you were supposed to give to the Raddiwala and you have not given, and you can just see it during your japa time. And your mind again gets distracted. And you do some endeavor to complete that task. That is called as prayas. So that is why what I was saying is less stuff, less stress. So there are some points when we want to purchase some things in our house. I'm taking a very generalized session today, not very much philosophical. So there are some practical things when you are getting some stuff or some things in your life. When we possess some things, when we want to get some of the things in your life, you need to find out, you need to ask some few questions about whether I should have those things in my life or not. First of all, whenever you are getting some things in your life, you should ask the first question that, do I need this thing? You should be a first class gatekeeper. You should be a first class gatekeeper to let a few things come in your house also and come into your life also. It may be people. I'm talking in general is about people also. If a person is trying to enter your life, or if you're purchasing some things in your life, first thing you should ask is that we should ask, do you deserve? You should ask, do I deserve to have this thing in my life? Yes or no? If no, first thing is to discard it. Don't take it. Yeah, sometimes we just go for window shopping and we purchase. Mostly it happens when you go to the malls. Have you seen that? When you go to the malls, you purchase those things which were not necessary at all. It happens, right? So
Yeah, true, true.
yeah, very true. So you go and you want to purchase only sugar, and along with sugar, you see, oh, this is also missing, that is also missing. I want this, I want that, and you think so. So first of all, you should ask whether this thing is required. Should I purchase it? Second thing, you should ask whether what is the return of investment if I'm putting. If can I sell it back? Can I get rid of this item again? If I cannot get rid of this item again, it will be compulsory burden to my house. I should not purchase it. If I am able to return this back or get rid of it, what will be the cost of that? Can I easily get rid of these things from my house? If yes, it's easily disposable. Okay, you can have it and dispose it. Otherwise, don't get it. Freebies. I'm giving a very practical session today, actually. Why? Because somehow this text, they get into my head like how I can implement these things in my life. So freebies, decline whatever somebody gives free. So many things come into our house which are free of cost and does not have any value in our life. While getting, because we are getting it free, we bring it in our house, and then after later we realize that this was not at all necessary. Right or wrong? Yeah. Or even gifts. If somebody is giving you gifts, say no to gifts. I don't want any gifts. Yeah. Unless it is really very necessary, don't accept gifts, because those are all extra items in your house, in your life, which they are not at all required.
Then you'll have to just hold it
Hold
in the house.
Okay. Your blessings are more required. Don't want any gifts. That is the
Yeah.
you should speak. Yeah. And you should always think of your home. Very, very important point. You can make a note of this point. Always think of your home as a sacred place and not as a storage place. When you will think of your house as a sacred place, you will be able to get rid of the unwanted stuff. Otherwise, your house will be nothing less than a storage unit. Right? This is very important. So first thing I told, less stuff is equal to less stress. Very important. Second thing, less stuff is equal to more freedom. Don't do any prayas to get any type of things. Less stuff, more freedom. If you don't have things, you will be free from things. I'm not talking only about things, even relations, even attachments, less attachments. We can make it as less, instead of saying less stuff, we can say less attachment also, right? So, for example, if suppose you get an opportunity to go for a yatra. Now, apart from this, our Vrindavan Yatra, where all of us are going, or most of us are going, or if you are not coming for Vrindavan Yatra, if you are not coming for the Vrindavan Yatra, just ask yourself why you are not coming. Why you are not coming? I'll just ask one Mataji. Shobha Mataji, if you can speak 2 minutes, is it okay? Are you coming for Vrindavan Yatra, Mataji? Okay, I don't feel. Anybody wants to answer this question? Somebody who is not coming for
Hare
the...
Krishna Mataji. I am unable to come now, Mataji. No support from family.
No support from family is one of your reason for not
I
attending.
have prayed and begged to Krishna, only if he brings my family, I will come together. I won't come alone. I am
Very
seeking
nice.
mercy.
Very nice. But that is your, responsibility in this life. Your family, you cannot avoid your family and go off. Can you say, okay, you are not coming? What you are saying, I'll go with my family. Is
Yes,
it?
Mataji.
Yeah. So can you just leave them? Oh, you are not coming. I don't care. I'll go off. You are not able to do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't go for my Kartik Yatra because my daughter was not having a holiday. Because I have had the responsibility of taking her care and I couldn't go. Somebody will say, oh, if I go, my in-laws won't come to my house very easily because they say, oh, who will take care of our house? It will be locked for 4 months. What will happen to the house? These are all what? Some sort of attachments. See, when you leave the world, your family is not going to come with you. My daughter is not going to come with me. My in-laws
True.
are not going to come with me when I'm going to leave the world. This is a
So
fact.
true. Yeah,
This is
yeah,
a
yes,
fact.
Mataji.
Very, very bitter fact. Very bitter fact. But it is there. But we are still attached. Why are we attached? Because we are in this material world. Right? Then we do endeavor. Not for spiritual yatras. Not for spiritual yatras. But we do endeavor if our family is, if your family is willing to go for a picnic. Mataji, you will take some leave in your office and you will go with the family for a picnic. We do endeavors. I also do endeavor. Where do we do endeavors? In a wrong place. In a wrong place where there is no spiritual gain, where Krishna is not going to be happy. When we are not satisfying Krishna at all, we are endeavoring for me and my people's extremely sorry, all their sense gratification. So this is what is going wrong. So what it says is less stuff, more freedom. If you are not bound with anything, that doesn't mean you can give up your relations. I'm not talking about giving up a relations, anybody. I can also not give my relations. But it's in the sense that if I am attached to my things, I cannot be free. I will be bound. I usually tell one story. I think we'll start reading the text today. So, one small story, a person is dying on the deathbed. All his family members are around him. And he's saying, oh, where is my elder son? He says, yes, Papa, I am here. Then he says, oh, where is my middle son? Oh, he says, I am here. Where is my younger son? He says, I am here. Where is my wife? She says, I am here. Then he says, he's dying on his deathbed. And this person says, if you all 4 people are here around me, who is looking at the business? Who is there on the store? So what is the sort of attachment he has? He has a strong attachment to the physical, to this material world, to his business. So he can leave the world peacefully and go to Krishna, but he's still completely bound. And to get that, to have that bounding relieved, that is what we have to do, aparigraha. So you have to leave doing prayas. You have to leave doing atyahar. And you have to do aparigraha. That means keep a minimalistic view of the life. Wherever possible, I am satisfied with the minimum things in my life. Even prasad, have you ever noticed when you are standing in the prasadam line and the Mataji or Prabhuji in front of you gets 2 gulab jamuns. Again, I'll take the example of gulab jamuns. And in your plate, the devotee serves only 1 gulab jamun. What is your first question? Unko 2 kyun diya, mujhe 1 kyun diya? I want 1 more. How will I get 1 more? So you will sit, finish it off, come again, Prabhuji, mujhe to mila hi nahi. What you are doing? Prayas. So many places, even in bhakti also, but for wrong things, we are always doing some sort of prayas. That has to be avoided. And for that, our spiritual inclination has to be increased. And this will only increase by the help of association, by the help of knowledge, by reading the NOI book, how to get rid of this particular prayas. Where am I? Okay, so where were we till the last this thing? Yeah. We'll just read 2 paragraphs and we'll just stop. We had yesterday, Mataji has finished till this place. Shobha Mataji, you want to read? You have raised your
Krishna
hand for
Mataji.
reading, is it?
Yes, Mataji, I can read now.
Okay.
Hari
So we have to read from this place, the first step. So what has happened in the yesterday's session is that Mataji explained us about what is our dharma. And our dharma says that you have to work. You cannot leave your job. You cannot leave your responsibilities. But in that case also, utilize your dharma for Krishna conscious activities. right? According to Rupa Goswami, whatever income you get, half of the income has to be given for Krishna conscious activities. That is how you get rid of this karma, right? Because when we are doing some job, doing some activity, because we are grihasthas, when we do the job, what we are getting paid. Yesterday, Mataji was also telling this point very nicely, that when you get the payment, you're working for somebody else. You don't know his state of mind. He is not a devotee. He may be utilizing your skills for the wrong purpose. He may be utilizing your skills for his prayas, for his greed, for his atyahar. That means somehow or the other, not directly but indirectly, we are helping him in the non-Krishna conscious activities. And for that, we are getting paid. So Rupa Goswami says, whatever you earn, 50% of your earnings you should always give for Krishna conscious activities. Donations, give it to the temple. About remaining the 50%, uska 25%. Give it to as charity. And 25%. You cannot say charity. You can say you can give it to the relatives, like your son, daughter. You can keep it for them. And the 25% you keep for emergency purpose. This is how you should, whatever you are earning, that way you will not endeavor to earn more, because I know I'm not going to accumulate anything for me. Everything whatever I'm getting, I'm going to utilize it in this particular proper fashion. So you will not over endeavor. That is dharma. So whenever you are, or this says your all occupational engagements are certainly meant for liberation. How will you get liberated? You will only get liberated when you are performing Krishna conscious activities. So your engagements, your occupational duties, your dharmas should always be used for your engagements in the Krishna conscious activities. They should never be performed for material gain. So don't endeavor. Furthermore, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. How not to do it, that we saw in the previous discussion, right? How not to do, not to utilize that thing for sense gratification. Okay, so now from here we will read first step. Mataji, please read. Hare Krishna. Are you reading, Mataji? Shobha Mataji, read it, please. You are on the phone, okay. Somebody else, please read.
I'll read, Mataji.
Yes, please read, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. Since
No,
all conditioned
read
living
from
beings,
the first step in human civilization.
which page, Mataji? This text too, no? Human life, the purpose.
Text 2 only, yes. After this shloka. One paragraph of dharmasya yapa vargasya.
Hosana
After that,
pratha, Hosana pratha. After the shloka, the Mahatma Stu Mahampartha.
go down, Mataji. Next page.
Okay.
Next page.
The word Mahatma
Dharmasya
refers
yapa
to?
vargasya shloka is there.
Yeah.
After that, all occupational engagements.
Just a minute. That's quite far.
For me, it is page number 19.
Yes, I found Mataji.
Uske baad, first step.
Yes. All occupational, right? Start
Yeah.
from there.
Okay, read.
All occupational engagements, dharma, are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service, dharma, should never use this material gain to cultivate sense gratification. The first step in human civilization consists of occupational engagements performed according to the scriptural injunctions. The higher intelligence of a human being should be trained to understand the basic dharma. In human society, there are various religious conceptions characterized as Hindu, Christian, Hebrew, Mohammedan, Buddhist, and so on. For without religion, human society is no better than animal society.
Okay. 1 minute, Mataji. So here it is said the higher intelligence of human beings should be trained to understand basic dharma. So what is the basic dharma? What is our dharma? To work for the satisfaction of Krishna. That is our basic dharma. And who can perform this basic dharma? A person who is intelligent. A person who is intelligent, what he will do? He will read the scriptures. He will listen to the lectures. He will understand the scriptures through proper sources. And then he will come to know what is my real dharma. That is what we are doing. We are reading the scriptures to understand what is our real dharma. And the real dharma, basic dharma, is to satisfy Lord Sri Krishna and perform those activities by which he will be pleased. Not to do any activities for our own sense gratification. Okay? Yes. Please read ahead, Mataji. One more paragraph, then somebody else can. As stated above.
Yes. Okay, 1 minute. As stated above, dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho
Artha
arpayate. Religion is meant for attaining emancipation, not for getting bread. Sometimes human society manufactures a system of so-called religion aimed at material advancement, but that is far from the purpose of true dharma. Religion entails understanding the laws of God, because the proper execution of these laws ultimately leads one out of material entanglement. That's the true purpose of religion. Unfortunately,
Mataji, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah.
What is the true purpose of religion? Religion entails understanding the laws of God, because the proper execution of these laws ultimately leads one out of the material entanglements. So what, just as we said previously, just as said, we are basically going in the loop of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Is it not? And to get out of this loop, there should be some exit door. You are always taking birth, old age, disease, death. Birth, old age, birth, disease, old age, death. Birth, disease, old age, death. Going on, we have to come somewhere, sometimes out of this loop. How will you be able to come from this loop? Only when you follow the laws of God. Only when you follow according to the scriptures. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. What these three people are saying. What is Guru telling us? What is Shastra telling us? What are the different sadhus means what? In our disciplic succession, the acharyas, previous acharyas, what they are trying to explain us, understand them, and behave according to that. When you will behave according to that, that means ultimately when you will do Krishna conscious activities, all A, B, C, D, everything you have to do. When you follow this, then that is cut this vicious cycle of birth and death, and you will go out of these material entanglements, and you will go back to your original constitutional position, which is in the spiritual world. Yes. Unfortunately, read Mataji.
Mataji, that is the true purpose of religion. And unfortunately, people accept religion for material prosperity because of atyahara or an excessive desire for such propensity. True religion, however, instructs people to be satisfied with the bare necessities of life by cultivating Krishna consciousness.
What is mean by bare necessities of life? We have to be minimalistic. That is what I explained. Right? Less. Yes.
Yes,
less
Mataji.
stuff, more freedom. Less stuff, less stress. That is the thing. Minimalistic view. Then you will have more time for spiritual activities. Then you will have more time for japa. Then you will have more time for making Krishna happy rather than making yourself happy. Yes, Mataji.
Even though we require economic development, true religion allows it only for supplying the bare necessities of material existence. Jivasya tata jignasya. Yeah. The real purpose of life is to inquire about the absolute truth. If our endeavor, prayasa, is not to inquire about the absolute truth, we will simply increase our endeavor to satisfy our artificial needs. A spiritual aspirant should avoid mundane endeavor. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Jivasya Tattva Jigyasa. What should every Jiva do? Tattva Jigyasa. What is the Tattva? Who is my object of love? What is that thing which I should satisfy? It is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you will understand this, a Jiva understands this, that he is the ultimate benefactor. I am the one who is the servant of the Lord Krishna, and I am only here to satisfy him. Then he will be actually doing prayas for that particular purpose. then his mundane prayas will not be there. Then he will not do any endeavors for his son's gratification. That is the point of understanding over here. So this is all about prayas. Next it talks about prajalpa. So this prajalpa, I think we can stop here today because it's already 3 and prajalpa we can start tomorrow. So atyahara prayasascha prajalpa niyamagraha. So the third point which will come is prajalpa. Prajalpa means talking. Talking about what? Are we talking about Krishna or are we talking about something else? When you meet another devotee anywhere, in the temple, in your house, in some satsang, on the road, in the market, what are you talking about? And we just do this one, realization till the next lecture tomorrow. Somebody you will meet today. Somebody you will talk on phone. Some devotee. Somebody you will think of. Somebody you will call. Or even if nothing like this happens today for the entire day, at least think of some situation. Someday you have met some devotee. Last Sunday you went to the temple and you met a particular devotee. What did you talk with that devotee? That you have to think today before tomorrow's lecture starts. That is prajalpa. So did you really do Krishna conscious activity or you did prajalpa? That we need to find out for ourselves. You may not discuss it tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Mataji may not discuss this particular point, but we should know that we are going to talk about prajalpa. So even with devotees, we are always doing prajalpa. How? That you have to find out. We are not always talking about Krishna conscious activities. We are not always talking about Krishna Katha. We are not always talking philosophy. We are not always talking about Krishna's pastimes. We are always talking whenever we meet some Mataji. Mataji, how are you? And then, उसके बाद, we never ask Mataji, आपने कल क्या read किया? Mataji, आपने कौन सा lecture सुना? Do we ask? Do we ask these things when we meet devotees in the temple? We don't ask. If you are asking that and if you are discussing that, that is the best thing you are doing. Yeah. So let us till tomorrow's session, just think about this, how we are doing prajalpa, even unknowingly, even in the association of devotees. That is going to help change ourselves in the future. Okay. So we'll stop here. If you have any doubts, any clarifications, anything you want to suggest, we are open for 2 minutes.
Very nice class, Mataji. Wonderful.
I did not read much today.
Yeah, very practical. Yeah.
I wanted to tell those things. It was there in my mind from the first time I read this and I heard lectures about this. This was the point in my mind. Okay, so we'll stop if nothing is there. Please come tomorrow on time. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarupescha kripadevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti
Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Shubha Mataji, I did not intend to, I just gave an example. It's nothing. Do not mind. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranams.